To bring everything but the hog out. Think we eat nothing but grass, what you talking about? I'm about to jump into the whip and hit the Whole Foods early. Get everything to get that soul food working, like mac and cheese, the collard greens, the black eyed peas, and get a roast of that tofu turkey. Got cornbread, even got stuffing. Mashed potatoes so good, put your hand in it. String beans, and you know we got yams.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually joined by Karen the Lost Lemurian and Michelle Kombucha Princess. We're actually doing a collaboration. I'm in here in Melbourne on holiday, doing a bit of activism and some sightseeing as well, and it's great to meet up with these two. So we're talking today about compassion for the animals and not humans. This is something that happens quite a lot in veganism. Certainly, you've got to understand that compassion means being vegan is compassion for everybody. It's compassion for the animals, it's compassion for the humans as well. I feel a lot of the times we do hate in a lot of people because they're not vegan enough. In other terms, at the end of the day, everybody's doing what they feel is best and trying to be the best person they can. I always say being vegan doesn't make you a good person, being a good person makes you a good person, and that's important to understand that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Compassion shouldn't have holes. You don't get to only have compassion for one group of beings and not for another, and that's the whole point of veganism. You know, is that most human beings are conditioned to only care about human beings and then to view animals as objects or accessories. But some people, when they go vegan, they just flip that. They have complete disdain for humans and complete love for animals. And I get that a lot of humans can just make you lose your will to live. They can just be awful and so cold, but hating them doesn't make this a kinder world. And you should hold your compassion for humans as well as for animals. Yeah.
It's sort of a thing like where you meet a vegan that's like a horrible person, and you imagine them, if this person wasn't like vegan, would they be a good person? And of course I've met, like, at the end of last year I met 3 horrible vegans, and the main reason they went vegan is for dietary requirements. So they're showing compassionate towards some people but not other people. Yeah, just like they said some horrible stuff to me, and I'm like, whoa, are you vegan or you not vegan, all that sort of stuff. But also it can be quite isolating if, you know, you isolate yourself from everyone that's not vegan.
Yeah, and I think that's great that you two were talking about health there, because that's another thing that a lot of people do hate on people that's coming to veganism for health reasons. You've got to remember that sometimes people are doing this to save their life. They've suffered from things like heart disease, type 2 diabetes. So, at the end of the day, they do get the ethical connection down the line, but you've got to save yourself before you can save the animals, and that's important people understand that as well.
Yeah. And on health as well, like if a person makes a decision in relation to their health that you disagree with, whether it's, as what happens in a lot of cases, some people actually make the decision to go back to eating animal products because they either are told they need to or they think they need to for their health. Whether that is what's going on or whether it's some other decision that they've made for their health. I understand that you might be really disappointed with them, or you think that they've made really the wrong decision, but you know, anyone who's suffered from a serious health condition will be able to tell you how terrifying it can be, and you grasping at straws. You're just trying to find the thing that's going to save your life. And like, I've experienced cancer myself, and I know a lot of people, when they have cancer, they find that veganism is the right thing. But there have also been plenty of other people who they've been told that they need to do something else, and instead of hating on them because they either ate animal products or maybe they got radiotherapy and chemotherapy and you're disagreeing with that, whatever, maybe just give them some compassion. Just remember that this person is facing death, and it's not the time for you to jump in and judge their choices. You just need to love them and give them compassion. Yeah, it's just too many people who are they're not giving any compassion to humans, and thinking that it's enough to just love the animals, and that you don't need to love humans too. You actually do need to love both. Yeah.
It's about remembering what works for one person doesn't work for another, and that's exactly what you were talking about there, saying about things like obviously some people went raw vegan and such like, it's cured their cancer, but other people it doesn't work for, and it's important to understand that as well, and especially things like eating disorders. Like I say, some people have came to veganism maybe out what they believed has been the right reason doing it, but if there's even that little bit in your brain telling you that you want to, in some way that you think it's restriction, veganism has never been a restriction. It's about doing what you originally had before, but making it veganised. Like if you used to everything you had in a US standard diet, but now cruelty-free, that's important to understand that as well. And then they've had to give it up because it's actually led them back into the eating disorder. It's really dangerous as well, because they say you can cure your eating disorder through veganism, and that will never happen until you actually cure what's going on in your head, no matter what lifestyle you lead.
Yeah.
It's good that you brought it up, because when I worked at my old cafe, this girl was quite slender. It was quite obvious she had an eating disorder, but we didn't really talk about it because she went to the doctor once a week. And one of the really angry vegans thought that she could just cure it with raw foods like people did to you, Tommy.
Yeah.
And they said just go raw and then stop taking your medication. And that was the advice that they had given her. And after a week of being raw and taking her medication, she had dropped weight, and she was told to go back to vegetarianism. So them being vegetarian wasn't good enough, but you know.
Because you've got to remember that your body's in thousands and thousands of calorie deficit, and you've got a lot of healing to do as well. So there is a good reason, though it's not, I suppose, what people deem as ethical, but it's ethical for you, it's saving your life, and that is to get enough protein in, and that's why they do give you animal products, and it's why, unfortunately, hospitals don't advocate a vegan lifestyle. But at the end of the day, save your own life before you can save animals, and that's...
Yeah.
But I think the important thing was that she was vegetarian, but that wasn't good enough. Like, you had to be raw. But yeah.
I actually want to cut down that with the bike. Yeah. Another area where I think a lot of people, and this is understandable, an area where they are not showing compassion is to the people that most make you lose your faith in humanity. So I said before, like, I know that people can make you just lose the will to live. They're so horrible. There are a lot of people out there who they completely just numbed their conscience, or for want of a better phrase, it's like they've switched off any empathy that they might have, and all they're after is making money. And so they're making money off the animals, they're making money off of you, off of, you know, and then they don't care whether you're healthy or unhealthy. They honestly could not.
It's about selling the ebooks.
Yeah, well, but even on a grander scale, I'm thinking about like the people who run the slaughterhouses and so forth. There's something that you'll hear from me a fair bit, because I've started talking about this a lot. The people who run the slaughterhouses and who are making their money from actually torturing the animals, how broken do you have to be to do that, to make your living from something that is actually torture? Like, and you know it, of course you know what, like, you would completely understand, because of like understanding the process of what it takes to end an animal's life. You would know that they're afraid and feeling pain, and to still believe that it's a good idea, that you can make a lot of money off of that, or support your family in that way. I'm not talking about the people working at the slaughterhouse because they're just trying to make ends meet like the rest of us. I'm talking about, yeah, I'm talking about the people at the top. But
yeah, because they go to the unemployment place and they offer jobs, full-time work, with enough money to feed their families. Nobody wants to be on the street.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
wants to, you know, not have a good Christmas or not to have power.
You're forced into these jobs to earn a living, and that's why they're earning a pittance, really, because there's a good reason for that. Nobody wants it, and they're earning less than a minimum wage.
And even like even the people, like I said, the people who are making money off this, the business owners, but something's wrong with them that they have chosen this, like that they can't recognize that it's wrong, and they deserve empathy as well. And that's a big concept for a lot of people. A lot of people aren't ready to give empathy and forgiveness to the orchestrators of this horror, but something's gone wrong in them.
I think as human beings, a lot of things, horrible things have happened in history with human on human. It's what you're brought up to believe. Like if I was brought up to believe something really weird, I would believe something really weird. So if they're brought up to believe like you're going to take over the slaughterhouse business, it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, it's kind of culture dictating morality, basically.
It is, So, and it doesn't get us anywhere to be hating on them, to be calling them monsters or whatever. I guess for me, I got a big revelation when I realised that everyone here is a victim.
Yep.
Everyone involved is a victim. So, since everyone's a victim, the least we can do is to take pity on everyone and show compassion to everyone. You can 100% love the animals and fight for them and actually directly save their lives, whilst also having goodwill towards the people hurting them.
The only way you cure the world is through love, and that's important.
You don't make this a kinder planet by hating part of it. Hate doesn't get you anywhere.
So guys, thanks very much for joining in. I really recommend you go and check out Karen the Lost Lemurian and Michelle Kombucha Princess, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and be kind to every kind. The only difference is your perception. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love yous.